Hi there, my name is Leslie Kilgo, and today I am going to present one finished component of my professional development curriculum. The component that I will be sharing today is located at the beginning of my professional development, and on the timeline it's titled Demo and Explanation of Class Dojo. This portion of the professional development is where the instructor will utilize their teacher iPad to show the ease of setting up a classroom on the app, which entails adding students, families, and creating a purpose statement and expectation for students and families. Also, they'll be discussing how to utilize the app to communicate with their colleagues. The learners will be learning how to add desired skills on the app, how to manage, and finally, why and how to use a photo and file stream on the app. Karen Noel mentions that student success, whether it is behavioral, social, or academic, is truly influenced by parental involvement. And I think we all as educators can agree and reiterate this. So I will now begin my professional development. Welcome to our fourth grade professional development. We all communicate with parents, right? Some of us use handwritten notes, some of us email or call on the phone, others use apps such as Remind. All of these strategies have their pros and cons, which we talk about on a daily basis, but we're all seeking more. According to the needs assessment that I sent out a while back that you all filled out, most responses wanted more options that are all in one location. There's just too much information that's shared across too many different avenues, so here we are today. I am going to teach you and show you how easy it is to use Class Dojo. It's a one-stop shop that has communication between students, educators, and parents. Here is where you're able to allow families to see into their child's learning and their day. So many times, are parents confused or not fully understanding because kids aren't the greatest communicators at times, or they just don't want their parents to know. But the parents do want to know a lot of times. Sometimes they don't. So if you want a parent to know how the day went as a whole class, you can post that. If you want one particular parent to know how that their child really stepped it up and had a phenomenal day, you can find that one parent on the app and single them out and communicate so that they just can see that. If you want to share a picture of your class from a field trip to families, you can post it. And guess what? It doesn't have to take hours and chunks out of your day or your time. It can be done in one click. How many of you have social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or something similar? Right, almost all of us do. Joe, guess what? You're not alone. There are others in our building who do not have social media, but it's not scary, it's not hard, it's not overwhelming, and I'm going to show you that today. So we're going to get those nerves out and the I don't want to's and the frustrations, and I'm truly going to show you how easy this really can be. So let's get together right now and we're going to complete the initial step of setting up your account. Then once we're done with that, we're going to break up into small groups and we'll participate and engage in a classroom activity as if you were a a teacher or a parent, and you're going to have role reversals. So you're going to be able to use the app as a parent or a teacher. You're going to have the opportunity to see what it looks like on all ends. I think that's really important because you're going to have questions inevitably from a parent. So let's get started. First, log in, because when you registered for this professional development, you were asked to log in. So go ahead and log on in, and then you're going to click on the classroom, and we all have our demo class that you're going to be logging into. And we're going to add our students. So let's go ahead. So find your class. And when you click on it, you are prompted to add a student name. So go ahead and add the names that are provided on your table. Type it in and then click add. Oops. And I'm I'm doing it right along with you to show you that it's really truly not that scary. Okay, click done then. And as you can see, you are now being prompted to add families. So please go and click on and tap Connect Families. We are, for the purpose of today, I want it to be the easiest that it possibly is. And the way that I'm going to show you today is truly the easiest way. Tap on the very top box that says Get Printouts. And you're going to then be prompted to click on individual printouts. I would do individual printouts because we have open house coming up. So coming up for open house here, you can put a paper on each child's desk with their name tag on their desk. I know you all set your classroom up very similarly to how I do mine. So I would put this paper on their desk. The parents feel like, oh, each kid has their own login. They're already excited. The kid is excited. It's a good look and it's a good step for parents to know that you actually do want to communicate with them. So you're going to tap on Send Me Printouts. They'll be located in your email. You can then print them out and put them on their desk for open house. Parents will then go on and they will sign on. It will print out with a QR code, or it will print out with and also, sorry, not or, also it will have a code. So they'll be able to do it either way. All right, so we're finished with that portion. We are choosing to set up our demo class this way on your iPad so that you can have a glimpse into how it looks for students and families. I think it's really important that we understand what students and families will be seeing, because if not, you're not going to be able to answer the questions, and they will be frustrated, you will be frustrated. So if you can at least see it, experience it, then if you prefer to use your computer, by all means, go ahead and use your computer then. You can also find that you can invite parents by emailing a class link, print the invites like we did today, or invite them with an email or a phone number. Again, however you find it to be easiest. I'm just showing you one option for today. I find that not all parents want to be as involved or have communication, so this does add ownership on their end, and it starts to set boundaries that, nope, you're going to log in. I'm not doing it for you. I think that boundaries are really important, especially with an app like this, and we'll talk about that too. And there are no students technically here in this training. We will be watching a video of students, but there are no students here technically today, but we'll get into that. So how many of you, and I already know this answer, have a para or a PCA in your classroom, or another adult for whatever reason? Exactly, that's what I was assuming. All of us have, at one point in a day, at least one adult other than ourselves in our classroom who are also helping our students. Rivera mentions that collaboration that is discussed and shared among teachers enables a respectful relationship that will encourage better communication. You want them to have access to the student points that we're going to be assigning. You want them to be able to be respected just as much as that your students respect. The respect level, if they're not able to go on and add reward points or tell a student that they have to work a little bit harder on this skill, they're not going to be respected, because the students are going to see, oh, only Mr. T has the access here. She's not somebody I need to listen to. That's not setting up a good boundary in your classroom. So let's go ahead and do this. There are 3 dots in the top right-hand corner of your tablet, and you will see there's a circle. Oops, sorry, not there yet. You will see there's a person that has a plus, add a co-teacher. Go ahead, and then you are going to click add co-teacher, and then click on the box next to the person of who you would like to add, and then go ahead and click add, and then you can back out. Good. Does anybody need more time? Some of you have a lot of adults in your classroom. All right. This is also a great way if you need to send a message to your co-teacher about a situation that you're having in your classroom and you don't maybe want to draw attention, but it's not necessarily an emergency. This is a great way to kind of communicate with your team, and it's not on a personal device. I think this is a wonderful point to mention. We should not be using our personal devices for school reasons. So if you keep it all on the iPad, it's all school related, there it is. So this is where I would then pause the demo and I would ask the learners to, at their table, communicate and collaborate about positive behavior skills that they would like their students to focus on. So I would remind them to keep it simple at first and not to overwhelm the students and families, that they can always add more in the future. So I would give them 5 minutes to come up with a list of positive skills. So go ahead, add those skills on the app, click the 3 dots at the top and tap the edit. There's a circle with a star in it, edit skills. There are already skills provided there for you, and you can see they all have a weight of 1. So maybe participating, you want to change the icon. There's all of these different icons that you can click on, and then the different weight. Maybe you really think participation is important and you want your students to understand that, so you give them a 4 instead of a 1, and then it saves. Good. And now I will ask you to, as a table, collaborate a couple of skills that the students need work. And if you can see, there are no skills yet, so you have to add those in. Please do not overwhelm families with 18 different skills that their students are trying to work on. Keep it simple, 3 to 5, 6 tops. Okay, so I would give them 5 minutes to work on that. I would also note, once they are done working on their negative skills, that if you have a student, guys, who has a bit more behavior problems, or they need a little bit more attention in this area of behavior, you can go right ahead and click on maybe Sarah. You're really trying to get her to stay on task. Oops, I wanted to edit that. Sorry. So I'm going to click on Sarah. Sorry, edit students. And you can actually edit that particular student's skill. So you can change her skills, you can add new skills, you can change them and make them specific for that particular child. I know in my classroom, maybe Johnny does not always have the same needs and practices as Sally. So they're not going to be focusing on the same thing. Just as our education, they all learn differently. So I think that's all we need to do for our skills. Is everybody good to go? Wonderful. So you already have your professional development classroom set up. Look at you go. So let's talk about how to use this to communicate. Since the scary part's over, uploading all of your students and families, it's on them. They do it. You don't have to do it. So I think right there, that's a weight off of a lot of your shoulders. So now we're going to take a break, but before our break, I'm going to ask that you complete a Google Form assessment. Answer the questions honestly so that I can make sure to help you in this process the best that I can. So here's where I would break, ask them to do their formative assessment, then they can go to the bathroom, have a snack, give them a little bit of time, because when we come back, we're going to learn about messaging. Okay, welcome back, everybody. So the reason we're all here, the communication aspect. So I'm going into my classroom that I already have parents in, and I am going to show you how to message, because our other class, you're going to have your parents log in. So you don't have anybody in your classroom yet, but you will. So I'm going to show you. If you tap the messages you will be prompted to set up translation setting and scheduling messages, your quiet hours. We're going to skip that step for now, but yes, you do need to go in and do this. Guys, you're all a human being. You need to set boundaries. The app makes it comfortable for parents to communicate with you because it takes out the formality of email or phone call. This is so great, but it's also a downfall. There's no such thing as the perfect communication tool, so you do need to protect yourself and you need to set boundaries. So please, in the near future, once you finally get your actual classroom set up, please go in to your settings and set quiet hours for nighttime and the weekends. This is your time to be you, and you are not obligated to respond to a family during those hours. You will want to make this very clear, so please hit skip for now, but yes, go back and do that eventually. So, I'm going to click on messages, and I'm going to click on the parent, and I'm going to type in my message. Hello, please study for vocabulary. Maybe the student Max B was absent, and I'm going to hit, so if I hit the purple arrow icon, it will send immediately. You can add pictures. Maybe I want to take a picture of the vocabulary study guide, or a photo, or a link to a study review game. If you click on the clock icon, you can schedule it. So maybe I know that this particular student's going to be out on Tuesday, and the test is on Wednesday. So I want this to go out, schedule the message. There we go. There's my reminder for my student. It's sent, it's done. I won't forget about it. We all get so busy. So scheduling your messages is perfect. It's done. You can do it when you think about it, but it doesn't have to go out right immediately. You can send individual messages, or you can send whole group messages. It's totally up to you. So how many of you have Facebook or Instagram? Again, we did talk about this once. Right. So this is so similar, and it's super cool because not everybody, most people are familiar with this. So if you go back to your classroom and you go into your story, you can type in, students can comment on a class story. Our school actually has that disabled. I think that's probably a good thing a lot of times. So you can have that discussion with the principal and your co-teachers on if you want your students to be able to communicate that way. But if you want to add to your story, you can say, I'd like to create a post. Maybe it is going to be Happy Halloween. Okay. And again, you can add a picture, you can take a picture, you can add a file, and you can schedule it. October 31st, there we go, schedule, and it will go out. So this will look exactly like Facebook and even Instagram with messages and pictures. You can take a video of yourself, maybe doing a review, which is really cool. So if you know you have students absent, you can record yourself doing a review of skills and post it on here. Or, hey families, just a reminder, we have our holiday boo party for Halloween coming up, or whatever reminder you want them to know, pop it on there. It's great. If you notice, so this is pretty much all we're going to go over, but I do want to show you, there is a toolkit down here at the bottom. There's Dojo Island. Now, here is your toolkit. There's a timer, which is pretty self-explanatory. Random, so it will pick a student name. I love this. I had the jar of popsicle sticks with student names. This app is pretty cool. Then you can go to Group Maker. It makes your groups for you. A noise meter. directions so you can have a list of directions. I know a lot of students can't remember step-by-step directions, so rather than handwriting them on the board, you can type them and pop them up and screen share them. You have Think, Pair, Share. A lot of us do questions for students when they come in the morning. Special notices for the day, and then even music. What kind of music do you want to play for your kiddos? There's a big ideas. If you notice, there are lesson plans and videos. This is more so for social emotional learning, all things that we will get into another day, another professional development. That's how developed this app has become. There are a lot of components to this, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. So I just want to say that this concludes this portion of my professional development. After this portion, we would take a break, and then we would go into the classroom activity where they actually get to practice using it in a real live situation. So I hope that you enjoyed and have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.